well?
Yes.
Good. All right. Well, we are here. We are live with Shane, Brandon, Scoop, and myself, Robert. Scoop is at work, so you're not hearing his ghostly household
Oh, I thought the first thing you were
have
going to mention was
feedback.
I thought the first thing you were going to mention was my crackhead cat.
No.
Oh, we don't get Pringles
we
tonight.
like your cat. We're fine with your cat. We're not worried about
Yeah,
it. So
yeah,
so
yeah.
your household is definitely cursed because this is
I would say you
insane.
call it my household. It's an apartment the size of a shoebox, but
um, does anyone have anything at all on what was a very not interesting Cowboys
I mean, I got some
and
shit to talk
Cardinals
about,
game?
but it ain't about that game.
Yes.
Same, yeah. I mean, all I was gonna say is like Dallas is a great offense. They weren't tonight, but usually a great offense and off one of the worst defenses I've ever seen in my life.
Why
And
does
that's
Matt
pretty much all I have to
Eberflus have
say.
a job? Sorry, Shane. Why does Matt Eberflus have a job?
No, I mean it's true.
I don't understand.
And the fact that they struggled this much against old backup Jacoby Brissett,
Who's actually been better than Kyler Murray? So
I would agree, but still, he's old backup Jacoby Brissett at the end of the day.
And this is before Call of Duty comes out.
And
Call of Duty comes out in a week.
True. So but yeah, no, it's and then you give up that many points to those guys. I mean, that's embarrassing if you're Dallas. Like, I'm sorry, but it just is.
We can't even call him Dallas anymore. We got to call him Alice because there's absolutely no D in sight.
Oh, man.
Oh my god, that was good.
But I mean, it's true. But yeah, so that's I don't know. I mean, here I thought the NFC East was going to be kind of competitive this year. You know, I thought
It's not even close.
no.
I mean, to be fair,
it's Philly and everybody else.
I mean, to be fair, the Giants didn't help themselves losing both Malik Neighbors and Cam Skidabo early on in the season.
Skidabo! What are you doing? Stop
That's what I
saying the
said.
name wrong. You said Skidabo. It's
I said
Scatabo.
It's Scataboo, isn't it?
Scataboo.
That's times three.
Sorry,
God.
Skidabo. There we go.
Scataboo.
But
you're
anyway.
not at a bar doing pool, man. Playing pool, not doing pool. Jesus.
I don't know what that means, but anyway.
I don't either. But anyways,
But anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
No, but yeah, no. This division is awful. The NFC East minus the Eagles.
The NFC East is 8-18-1 outside of Philadelphia.
Oh.
Great football.
And even
The
Philly.
whole NFC East outside of Philly is tanking for the number one pick.
Well, and even Philly is not. They're not close to what they were last year. You know, I mean, they're still good, obviously, but
yeah,
it's
kind of what we said about Kansas, or what I said about Kansas City yesterday, where they can still be very good without being what they were a year or two ago.
Yeah,
and I'm curious because Philly's going to have a much different look. I think, well, not obviously huge different, but it is going to be different coming back. We've got Brandon Graham and a certain other player that I'm sure we'll talk about at some point tonight.
Yeah, we can. I mean, let me pull up everything that's going
dive
on
right
trade-wise.
But first, the only thought I have about Sunday is
I was going to ask. Is your thought the bird that you killed in Eastern Washington?
Yesterday I got flashbacks to this.
Oh, I like that.
Yes.
You know, just for no reason in particular. Anyways, no. So the okay, I want to talk about Jalen Phillips. Is that all right?
Yeah.
And some of the other just trade deadline stuff.
Fine by us. It's fine by me.
Yeah. What am I going to complain about? Go ahead.
Yeah, I actually surprisingly have more trade deadline stuff than just the Eagles. So
okay, take us through it, our fearless leader.
Go, Rob. Go.
But continue, Shane. What? Anything else on Sunday that you have, or?
Oh boy, I don't know. So it was just weird, a lot of teams that like. Brandon, what are you looking at?
Did you notice how my lights?
Barely everything in sight.
Do you see that?
Is that me? Is that my power outage transferring to you?
Nosferatu. No, I'm kidding. Because that's the scoop. You'll get it if you watch SpongeBob.
No, I actually know what you're doing.
Good.
Bonkers.
Yeah, watch. I think that it just started flicking all of a sudden. But yeah, go ahead, Shane. Go.
You might need a new light bulb. Anyways, no. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I mean, I just look at yesterday. There were a lot of weird upsets, a lot of very low scoring, kind of defensive battles. A lot of teams where I was like, oh yeah, they're good, and then they have this game, and I'm like, whoa. Great example is Green Bay, losing at home. Why is it that the two games they've lost this year, or not the two, but I guess it is two, are to Cleveland and Carolina.
I mean, to be clear, Cleveland still has a real defense.
Yes. Yeah.
No, they do.
Oddly enough, one of the only teams in the NFL that can say that.
I will say, Carolina's sneaky.
Oh, they are.
They're sneaky. They're not good.
Yeah,
they're not good. They're just sneaky.
No, but they're trap central down there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not as much as Atlanta.
When you look at some of the other games Green Bay's had, like when they blew out Detroit at the beginning of the year, and I mean they've had some really impressive wins, and then this happens. I'm like, okay, but anyways, I'm not. Oh, and the Colts fumbling the bag there, but I mean it's one. It's one game. I'm not going to overreact. Every year, every good team has kind of that one fluke game where it's like, whoa, what happened there? And then next week they're right back to form. So,
yeah.
So I'm not going to overreact. It's more so just if it becomes a pattern. Kansas City Buffalo.
That's 3-0 Sounders. I can turn this off. Let's go.
It's
I'm watching the Sounders game.
I can't wait to hear what you have to say about this because I have something to say about it too. I can't wait to hear what you have to say about it.
All right, continue, Shane. Sorry. Let's go, boys.
No, you're fine. This Kansas City Buffalo thing drives me crazy because every year Kansas City. Oh, bye, Brandon. Kansas City beats.
Oh no.
Or sorry, Buffalo. They win in the regular season. Their game against Kansas City, and every year they get my hopes up. I'm like, oh yeah, this is the year they're going to beat Kansas City in the playoffs, and then they don't. So I'm sitting here now, and I'm like, well, they won yesterday. Okay, maybe this will be their
They
year.
always win in those games. They every time in the regular season they beat Kansas City.
Yeah, and then Kansas City beats them in
the more important game.
Yeah, I'm like, why don't you switch? Like just
just switch. One.
You're trying to
switch.
Because the more he's back. The more you play a team, the harder it is to beat them. Or to keep beating them, I guess. So, it's like, I mean, we see this a lot. And that's why division, teams often split with the other teams in their division. Not because they're better or worse, but just because it's, when you play somebody again, you've already seen things from them. And so you can make all these adjustments. And anyways, so I'm totally projecting, but we'll see. Otherwise, I don't have much to talk about. I mean, it was just, a lot of like just very defensive and sloppy in many ways games yesterday, and and it feels like this year there's, most years it's like there's the really good, the kind of good, the okay, the not so good, and the terrible. It feels like this year there's a lot of like pretty good and just pretty bad. There's not like amazing. There's not a whole lot of awful. There's not a whole lot of just like, It seems like it's either, you're 5, 6, 7-2, or 6-3, whatever, or you're like, bottom feeder, 1 win, 2 wins, whatever. So that's kind of interesting. And then there's, like the Atlanta Falcons of the league that I can't figure out for the life of me. But
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't even know if they know what they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. No kidding.
Nicole in our YouTube chat is wondering where Scoop is. He's at work. That's what's happened to Scoop. And Brandon's gone again. Brandon's computer! No!
Who's Nicole?
Probably. I'm going to guess it's my friend Nicole Gizzi, who tends to pop in on our shows.
Oh, nice.
Yes, I gave her
Hey, Nicole,
modding privileges.
Thanks for listening.
But yeah. So
anyways,
is that all you got for Sunday?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, another weird NFL Sunday.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yep. All right.
Brandon.
Yay. Oh, no.
What's happening?
Like a boomerang.
Yeah, like I was
boomerang.
saying in yesterday's show, this computer's I know. It's crazy how I was saying for like the last week I need a new computer before all this started happening with my computer, and now I definitely need a new one because now it's just on its last legs completely. It keeps cutting out. It keeps saying, "Oh, do you want to renew your antivirus software or whatever?"
Why do you have antivirus software?
I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with my computer. It's possessed. It's past Halloween, but this thing just got possessed over the weekend, and now it doesn't want to work anymore.
It's Scoop's apartment and Brandon's computer, the two possessed.
Like
absolute marriage made from hell.
This started cutting out literally yesterday, and then now my lights are flickering, and now it's just cutting out. So there's some supernatural forces in my room apparently.
Nicole, I give everyone who's friends with the group mod privileges because they deserve it.
I told her that. I said everybody's basically a mod for us.
The ones who know us, everyone's a mod.
She's also a big time Dallas fan, so there's that.
Oh Jesus! I apologize. I'm sorry for your loss.
I know.
All right. Well, with the Eagles stuff, we normally start with Brandon and Scoop, but Shane, I know you want to talk about Jalen Phillips and the other moves that the Eagles made, so I'm going to give you the floor to start.
Wow. This is an honor.
Most deadpan response ever.
No,
I mean, listen, you might have to carry the torch for the Eagles talk tonight because if I cut out one more time, I'm going to throw my computer across the house.
Who knows? Maybe that would fix it rather than make it worse.
Hey, man, just join from your phone. Like,
I've tried before. I'll try it again. I'll try before. If it happens one more time, I'll do it again on my phone.
Okay, good. Anyways, no, Jalen Phillips, yeah. So the thing we were talking about, throughout the off season, is Philly, obviously they lost some guys at certain spots here and there, but the biggest area of concern was kind of that edge rush spot. Obviously they have Bond as a middle backer. He's great. Jalen Carter, and what's his name? Not Nolan, or yeah, Nolan Smith. And so, you got these guys in the middle who are great as well, but you don't have anybody that can really set that edge. And that's what Jalen Phillips is really good at. Especially, in the pass rush. He's very quick for, how big he is. And I mean, let's be honest, he was just kind of being wasted in Miami. I do think this is kind of interesting because Vic Fangio obviously was the defensive coordinator there 2 years ago in Miami.
Yeah. That's
So-
a big reason they made the deal, or that's a big reason that Philly pursued the Miami players, because him and Bradley Chubb, because of that relationship.
Yeah, my understanding
Yeah.
was that the talk started with Chubb and then pivoted to Phillips.
Right. Which I think Phillips is a better move, personally.
Much better.
Yeah. Younger, quicker, just higher ceiling, bigger motor. But yeah, no, it is kind of interesting because, you look at the kind of the Fangio year in Miami, and a lot of the guys down there didn't really care for him because he was too tough on them. It's football, man up. Dude, in all my life, I could count on my fingers the amount of times I've had a coach that was just like, "Oh yeah, it's all good, easy going, chill, whatever." Like,
And those coaches are usually awful.
yeah,
More often.
And when I say that, I don't mean like, you got to be yelling and screaming at guys, whatever. Like, no, you just got to be tough, persistent,
Elite,
But,
basically.
yeah. So, anyways, no. So that it just makes me think it's like, okay, well, Jalen Phillips, if they were pursuing him, he's likely one of the guys that respected Fangio and vice versa, obviously. Which makes sense because, I mean, you don't get to be as good as he is without having that kind of discipline. Usually, at least. Obviously, there are exceptions, but yeah, I really like this move. It'll give them a huge boost in the pass rush, which especially, as you get down into the playoffs and stuff. I mean, you look at the good teams in the NFC right now. It's a lot of really, pretty mobile quarterbacks. I mean, you just look around. There's, of course, exceptions like Stafford, Goff. They're not really movers, but a lot of the guys, like Baker. I was going to say Jaden Daniels, who's in your own division, but that's
not anymore.
I was going to ask your thoughts at some point on the controversial decision to leave him in a blowout game.
Yeah, did you think it was also very stupid, as we all did?
Dude, yes. But anyways, yeah, no. So, but and then like Darnold, Purdy, he's got some mobility if they're in the mix. It's going to be helpful to be able to set that edge, and not only for the pass game, but in the run game as well. I mean, there's a lot of, you look at Jahmyr Gibbs or Kyron Williams, Kenneth Walker. I mean, there's a lot of really speedy backs in the NFC who you don't want to get outside. So, yeah, no, this will just add another layer to their defense, and did they give up a lot for him? I didn't even
Give up a third rounder next year.
It's 3-2, Brandon. Are you serious?
Wow.
To give 2 goals? God dang it!
It's it wasn't. But the thing is, it wasn't a lot because Philly has 2 third-round picks, I think, next year. And the thing is, the one that we gave up is ours, and I think we have the Jets third-round pick.
Yeah, but still, a third round pick for Jalen Phillips.
Yeah,
that is highway robbery.
And then on top of that, they
I would give up a first
for
Jalen Phillips.
Yeah, a late first. Yeah, probably.
I think the only thing is obviously just, I mean, and this is why I keep telling people about the trade deadline. You're not going to get like a Myles Garrett or somebody of that nature, or TJ Watt, like without giving up like your entire half your team plus like 3-4 first round picks. So like everybody's like, oh, like with the Eagles making trades, like, oh, it doesn't matter, these guys are injury prone. I'm like, that's what you get at the trade deadline. The Eagles just need help at the positions that they traded for.
And even the quarterback moves, again, as I mentioned, with Alexander and Carter, like, they're not major moves necessarily, but it just helps because the quarterback position's been so bad for Philly.
Yeah.
Like, they're whatever moves, absolutely, but it's like, hey, you got something out of it.
Sometimes marginal improvement, sometimes improvements at the margins are what make the difference.
Yep.
Yeah. Especially at the deadline. Anything else on the trades from Philly? Scoop, anything else on there?
I mean, Shane pretty much made every point that I could make and did it better than I could. But I also,
why thank you.
Pardon?
I said why thank you.
Oh, yeah. But I just looking at it from a holistic standpoint, I quite frankly don't think that. Here, well, let me walk that back a little bit. I think it's very possible that we still see another move going into tomorrow. This team knows. I think this team knows that it could use more help on trench depth. We've seen how poor things went with Brett Toth back there.
Yeah.
We've seen some of the difficulties they've had on both sides, but mostly on the IOL. So. I wouldn't be surprised if they try and swing it for somebody. I don't have a name in my mind right now, but it wouldn't. I would expect them to still be targeting that. Right? I mean, we all know Howie's phone doesn't shut off until the last second before the deadline, and so I fully believe that he's going to be trying to target something right up until then, and that's kind of where I would expect it to be, because I think the defensive moves that they feel like they need to make, I think they already have made, or they'll get some guys back still the rest of the way. They'll ramp up guys like Brandon Graham, and I think now being able to flank him with a Jalen Phillips and then adding in MC2 in the behind them, I think now having him as a complementary piece to something bigger rather than expecting him to come in, because I think people had such a bilateral look at the return of Brandon Graham, where they thought, for like on nostalgia, I think some people were like, "Oh, he can still be a difference maker. He can still be which I'm not really saying. I would not have said that. I think that's a little bit, optimistic. But then there are other people who said that it was completely, oh, he's over the hill. Like, there's no reason to do this. Blah, 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 blah. And I kind of fell somewhere in the middle, where I think that it's something, but it's not everything. I think now that it's become part, and that's what I said. I think now that it's become part of a it's not the only, dish at Thanksgiving dinner, but it's become a nice, thing around the table. I think we've got something now that I can really look at and say, this is an Eagles team that I think can make some noise in the second half. I'm reluctant to put where I think they can get, because obviously so many things can change. But I definitely like this team from top to bottom a lot better than I did, maybe 2 weeks ago.
I'm trying to, what I'm trying to figure out right now is
How to get your computer to stop being an ass?
that's one thing.
Well, I'm also trying to figure out the fact that the Sounders gave up 2 goals while we were doing the show. Anyway,
I literally when you said you were going to turn off the game, I just looked away just to focus on this. I looked back up in 5 minutes. It was 3-2. I was like,
yeah,
what?
I just went back and watched both goals. That was disgusting. All right, anyway.
But
The only reason I'm watching this is because I'm a Seahawks or a Sounders fan, and I live in Seattle. I almost said Seahawks. Anyway,
yeah,
You did say steal.
I
Yeah.
did. Jesus. All right, back to football.
I'm really trying to figure out, I guess, both in a serious, but like a half serious, half kind of joking way, how teams haven't just shut the phone off when they see the area code for Philadelphia on the phone.
That's
See
a
what I-
good point. That's a
Did
good
you
point.
see what I did you see what I tweeted today? I said I think one of the worst things in the world and one of the most unjustifiable things in the world is victim blaming. But if you made a trade and got screwed with it by making a trade with Howie Roseman, I 100% think you have nobody to blame but yourself.
Well, okay, but like here's the thing, right? And we know that Philly does this better than anyone else, but it's always the bad teams, the bad general managers.
Yeah.
But it's also again like the reality of it for most of these trades, even that we've seen so far, aside from Philly, which we'll get to. It's a lot of these teams that hey, like they just need to clean house. The Dolphins need to clean house.
They weren't
The
going
Jets need to clean house.
to pay Phillips anyway. So
Well, and I'll add on to that from another angle where I'll say that's why when I heard some of the names that people were trying to get, I'm thinking they are competing for a championship. Why would that team be willing to offer that player? Like there are some people who I swear think that this is Madden and that they can just call up whoever they want, offer the scraps that the dog didn't eat last night for, their all pro player. And, it just, it don't work that way. So like Brandon said, and well, all of us have said to some degree, there's a limited pool from which to work at the deadline. And it's never really clear in any league what that pool truly is, what the depth of that truly is. So yeah, I think if you look at it just from the standpoint of the teams that were realistic sellers, and that doesn't even include the teams that probably should be sellers but are too stubborn to beat them, Cincinnati. So, I don't even know why I half-hearted that. They probably wouldn't have paid enough to hear it anyway. But yeah, so I don't I don't really think that people who thought that this is a mediocre deadline or whatever, and I think people who say that for a lot of different reasons are kind of, they have expectations that I think were never going to actually be met.
Yeah, honestly, the Jalen Phillips move is probably gonna be the move of the deadline when we're done.
that's
what we expected going in anyway. Like I totally don't expect much tomorrow.
Can I add on to that? I know that I'm
please do.
Mike Hoggy, and I apologize, but
no, it's fine.
And then we had that stupid, just transparent comment a few hours ago from Mr. Jerry. I won't finish that sentence on the way that I usually finish it, but and it's so typical. Little brother wants attention. Nobody's looking at me at my brother's birthday party. Blah blah blah. And he basically says we're going to get a defensive player, but we'll you'll see it at some point.
You'll see it tomorrow, and it's not going to be anything effective at all.
No, it's not. But it's what is it doing? It's keeping people talking about him, which is exactly what he cared about. He's literally admitted openly,
He did it today again.
Yeah, that basically, as long as Dallas is talking, or as long as people are talking about us, that's what I care about. Which I guess
that's why I want to spend less and less time on Dallas. Honestly, they don't deserve our time. At this point,
and that's why this is the only way that I'm mentioning it. But it's like watch that and going into tomorrow. This is a classic example of the difference of teams in the NFC East. Dallas and Jerry want to win the press conference. They want to win the headlines. They want to win the media bout. Mm-hmm. Philly wants to win the Lombardi Trophy.
Oh, you know what that reminds me of?
Again, by the way.
Remember Dan Lanning at Oregon? They're fighting for clicks. We're fighting for wins. Remember that?
That's
whole, that
that's
whole
exactly
thing?
that's exactly what I was thinking. I just couldn't remember the quote. I didn't want to f it up.
Yeah, like
The
but
only
it's so true though.
I got well. I mean, that's that. The thing is, the Cowboys are always fighting for clicks. That's the. By the way, this is my biggest issue with him saying that. You can't do that in any sport. I don't think you're allowed to just say, "Oh, we have a trade. You'll see tomorrow."
Yeah,
Shane,
like
have you ever seen
It,
that?
it's I no I don't think it's actually against the rules because I have seen teams do similar to that. I think that there's a like a certain line you're not allowed to go past in terms of what you say. But
Yeah.
I don't think just in terms of like I think if he had said we're making a trade with this team or if he talked about
Oh,
his
I see what you're
yeah
saying.
or if we
Yeah.
or if he
yeah,
had talked about a specific player that's under contract with another team, I think that's where you can't cross the line. I don't think and this is
Yeah.
holy crap. It's
but
the
you know
first.
what?
I'm
Like you know what's weird is like it's like everybody's talking about Dallas because of Jerry being vague like that, but it's like
yeah
they're not getting Max Crosby, they're not getting Miles
no,
Garrett, they're not
but
doing any of that. So
Famous
it's
last
just
words, by the
it's,
way.
I also find it so ironic that I'm the only one playing defense for Dallas tonight. But there's the but just looking at the context of what he said that it I think he I think because he didn't go to that level of saying a player or saying a team, I think that's but even so, you just he was classic stirring the pot, trying to win the headlines going into tomorrow, and then he'll come through with some slapdash trade at the end of the deadline for somebody who probably wouldn't have made it on 17 practice squads.
Yeah. Do you guys remember Jalen Tolbert when they traded for Jalen Tolbert
Yeah.
a few years
Yeah.
ago? He is currently on the trade block. So have
Oh
fun with
Jesus.
that. Shane, what are your thoughts on Dallas's craziness and Jerry being an idiot?
Well, yeah. I mean, you don't hear about owners saying that. saying,
Guys, I just want to jump in real quick because
yeah.
after the game tonight, Jerry says, "Here, I'm gonna play it for you because
Oh, boy.
Jerry made an actual comment on this exact thing after the game tonight."
Let's see.
Ready to go? We still can, yes. It wasn't dependent on this outcome? Again, understand what I said, absolutely. We'll see how tomorrow goes. So today was all about tomorrow. You shouldn't do anything. You should wait and see what we do tomorrow. Do you have a trade still ready to go? We still can, yes. It wasn't
We still can? That's different from what he said earlier.
Exactly.
What is going on?
It's you know how in baseball we had Manny being Manny. This is Jerry being Jerry.
Shane, with that added into this, go ahead.
Yeah, when teams make trades, they don't talk about it.
They just announced. By the way, they announced it like 4 hours later than the actual trade being done.
Yeah.
Do you
I mean,
hear?
shucks, look at the Atlanta Braves. They hired a whole ass manager today, not a peep about it until it was all done.
I know it's like I mean, we'll just look at Philly since they made the big trade today. Did we hear a peep about it? No.
We heard about it literally 4 hours later.
Like
Officially.
the team's social media account literally posted like 4 or 5 hours later after everybody in America
Because it's
in the
not
world.
official until
Well,
it's official.
Yeah.
And people were actually mocking the Eagles account, saying like, you're a little late on this, you're a little late on this, but they don't realize, or they either forget or they don't realize the teams literally cannot do that until I's are dotted, T's are crossed, the physicals and all this type of stuff. Because last thing anybody wants is a repeat of the infamous arson judge appears headed to Giants.
It's also why they haven't announced Alexander yet because they're waiting on the physical. I think.
Yeah. I think
look,
they're not
that was
trying to
another
be
thing.
the Lakers with Mark
Oh
Williams.
God.
Hey, we're gonna veto that trade because his foot's messed up.
Or freaking or Wilmer Flores for Mets fans.
Because they have to see how if Alexander has Todd Gurley's knees. So
I hope not.
Yeah. All right, Shane. Do you want to finish up on Dallas?
I mean, is there anything more to say?
They're just awful.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, basically.
All right,
So
let's play grade that trade. Woo! Minus the Eagles trades, because who cares? We just talked about it.
hey, move on.
Jalen Phillips. Hey,
A move on. Done. A move on as a whole. I'm trying to see where are we like officially gonna start this segment. Logan Wilson requested a trade from the Bengals. So I'm not grading it, but that's kind of big. It's definitely an A.
Can I give the decision to request a trade from that horrible organization an A plus?
Yeah, we can give it an A. Okay, let's see where we're starting. We are starting with Roger McGeary going to the Rams from the Titans. Titans receive a conditional 5th-round pick. The Rams receive a conditional 6th along with McGeary. It's fine.
Can I say something there?
Yes.
Okay. So I think each of us at some point or another has said, when we talk about the Rams every week, or most weeks, has said one of the main two things they need is help in the secondary. This is a player who has at least some level of experience. It didn't cost them all that much. It is somebody who was probably better than anybody that they were going to realistically get on the free agent market at this part of the season. And like we said, 98% of what you see at the deadline is going to be marginal improvements. I think this is a solid B trade. It doesn't cost a lot. It is a solid addition in an area that we've all known that they've needed. None of us are Rams fans, and we all know that they needed this for several weeks. So I call this a solid B trade.
Yeah, I'm going B plus. Shane?
I'll also say B. Yeah.
Okay. Brandon?
Yeah, B. He's young too, which also helps. So
He's on the final year of his rookie contract.
yeah.
So they wanted to get out of that as well.
And it's the Rams. This is the ones that made F them picks a thing. So
Niners got Keon White from the Patriots. Late 2026 draft swap for that. Patriots will get a 6th, and the Niners will get a 7th. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's like a C plus. It's like whatever.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
yeah, I'd call this a C, only because I don't think that they as badly needed this specific type of player as much as the Rams did. But also at the same time, every time I see a new player go to the 49ers, I think that they automatically forget about sending players for physicals. They should automatically have them triaged at the nearest hospital. So,
Yep, that's also true. Patriots got Kyle Duggar and a 7th-round pick. The Steelers got Kyle Duggar. My apologies, for a 7th-round pick in exchange for a 6th going back to New England. It's a B plus. I guess it's not even a B plus. It's a B. It's fine.
Yeah, when you think about how crap their secondary is, it's like, yeah, I think it's okay. I give it a B.
It's good enough.
Fine. B is fine. Scoop, do you agree with that?
I would still say this one's I'd call this a C, but if you wanted to call it a C plus or a B minus, I ain't gonna nitpick.
Yeah, totally fine. This is not a particular trade, but still fascinating. Vikings comfortable with quarterback depth. Excuse me? Excuse me?
Have they yet figured out how to do during life tests for chronic traumatic encephalopathy?
You have Max Bosner, the rookie, and then of course JJ. Yeah, it's pretty great.
Yeah.
Last one was actually pretty good. And that one was Draymond Jones going to the Ravens from the Titans for a conditional 5th. And the pick going to Tennessee is the Jets 2026 5th, but it could become the Ravens' 4 depending on conditions. Ravens really needed this, I think. I'll go B+.
This is probably my first B+ that I would give, because I think that of the need, like we always talk about how the Ravens defense has a bunch of names, but not a bunch of actual players. This is a player that they got for a day 3 pick, and even if that pick is at its highest, it could be a high 4th round pick. It sounds like you said, because the Ravens pick may be not as low as a lot of people would have thought going into this year, but. Again, most of the time, even in draft, like up until the last minute, usually you can get a day 3 pick somewhere.
Yeah. Shane, where do you have this deal?
Probably B+. I mean, I guess the only thing is, like, I'm just wondering if it's actually gonna, if it's actually gonna materialize.
They're still battling for an opportunity to get to the playoffs, and offensively, they're not necessarily in a great spot.
Like, it's crazy.
They're in a rough spot.
Yeah, like when you look at where Baltimore is, like, the only reason they're even still alive is because that division is so crap.
Yeah,
it's like,
much.
Yeah.
So it can help. It's just a matter of, but to see, like, here's the problem I have. Their D line does need the help, so that makes sense. But they got to add more, or hopefully by tomorrow they need to add something to that secondary, because that secondary is piss poor. I think.
Shane.
Yeah. So I mean, just in general, it's not it's good on paper, but like, how much of an impact will it actually have? I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, I was gonna say B. I was gonna say B+, but I'll knock it down to B, just because I don't think the Ravens. I mean, even though the Ravens are still alive, I don't think they're going anywhere. So it's like, I'll knock it down. And the thing is, I think their secondary is weaker than their D line to me. So
yeah,
guys, just want to mention real quick. CBS is reporting, for the Seahawks fans out there. The Seahawks are currently telling teams they will not be trading cornerback Tariq Woolen.
Oh, Jesus, really?
Okay.
So there basically wasn't any package. I don't like that, but I guess there just wasn't any package that they liked.
I mean, see, here's the thing. I said trade him, just because I was tired of him or whatever. But in all reality, considering how banged up their secondary is right now, I don't think they can really afford to lose him at the moment.
It kind of reminds me a little bit of like what Brandon and I would think of with the Marcus Stroman when we lost all that pitching a year ago.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's
not to convert sports, but it just made me think of that when you said that.
Mm-hmm.
No, I know what you mean. So yeah, I don't mind keeping around for the rest of the year, and then in the off season, reevaluate, and if you can either draft a corner or find someone in free agency, whatever. Then great, get that guy, move on from Woolen. But in the meantime, it's like, it's all right.
And I would add too, this could be something that they're just putting out to say, hey, we haven't been impressed yet. So if you want to be the one to force us to move it, you better increase your offer going into tomorrow. So
that was exactly what I was thinking, because it's basically just saying we don't like the offers we had on the table. So 100%.
If that happened within the last hour beforehand, I would think it was more hardcore. But releasing that a little bit, releasing that almost 24 hours before the deadline felt a little gamesmanshipy to me.
Oh, for sure. Well, that's all I have for the trade deadline. We will record only if you'll see us tomorrow. Only if something big happens. If nothing big happens, what's the point of even recording? So that's
Sith Lord Howie will be patiently making moves.
Bold prediction time from Scoop. The biggest trade that will be made before this deadline already happened between the Eagles and the Dolphins.
Oh yeah, no, I don't even think that's bold. I think that's accurate.
No, I was saying that sarcastically.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything bigger that happens unless Jerry has something up his sleeve. Can you imagine if it's Trey Hendrickson? And we wake up tomorrow and that's what it is.
Yeah, something.
He's like
probably a picture of his younger self.
He's like, we've traded for Jets running back James Robinson. It's like, Jerry, he's been off the roster for 4 years.
Yeah. No, I'm just thinking mentally, like, what if this is Trey Hendrickson? Like, can you imagine? I don't think it will
But
be.
here's the
No.
thing. Doesn't Trey Hendrickson actually, I mean, I know he really can't, force his way to a different team, but it's like Trey Hendrickson wants to win. And,
It's
so
Dallas.
you want to go from Cincinnati to Dallas? That's just.
But let me respond with this. The Bengals wouldn't even adhere to normal NFL standards for a second round pick this year, or it was either a second or a first round pick this year.
First.
Yeah. So I don't think they give a shit about if a player wants to go somewhere or not.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, the hesitancy to trade Hendrickson is twofold. They think their defense is awful, so they need him. And two, I honestly think that they want to trade him somewhere where he's happy. I think they do him a service.
It ain't going to be Dallas.
And it ain't going to be Dallas.
That's the biggest FU move ever. Like that's like Trey Hendrickson is gonna wake up tomorrow. It's gonna be like that 50 Cent meme where it's like, "What'd he say? Fuck me for?" Like that's gonna be like Trey Hendrickson tomorrow, finding out. Oh yeah, guess what, buddy? You're going to Dallas.
I'm just trying to think that what if that's the case when we wake up tomorrow. Anyway, we will be here tomorrow night, or Wednesday, depending on scheduling, if something big like that happens. But the likelihood of that is extremely low. It's just not going to happen.
It's like Game 7 if necessary.
This is the if necessary we will record situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I got for stuff.
Can I say what I was going to say about the game yesterday?
Wait, what game yesterday? There's too many.
City. I told you I had something to say.
Yes, something else on Kansas City. Yes, please go ahead before you have to head out.
Yeah, so the Buffalo-Kansas City game, I just want to point something out that I'm pretty sure did not get addressed yesterday, and I think it warrants it. So I bounced around a few different games yesterday, as most of us did. I watched a little bit of Colts Steelers. I watched a little bit of Bills Chiefs. You know what I saw on both of those? A little something that looked awful lot like a thing called the tush push. And
it's not a tush push topic. God damn it! It's getting removed at the end of the year. Can we move on?
We know that. Yeah.
The reason why I'm bringing it up is because 8 months ago, I have two articles here of Mr. Coach Sean McDermott saying that it's so detrimental to player health that the shoving and the one
it's
thing.
It's not detrimental to player health at all. It's just that I'm done with the play. Yeah. Everyone's done with it. It's stupid. The refs can't call it properly. Remove it.
My point is just being that way to go, trying to get a play removed, and now suddenly all of a sudden you like it. So which is it, Shawnee boy? Okay.
Well, I mean, they have to do it because it's effective, but it's effective to a fault. But again, here's my thing, guys: it's getting removed because the refs can't figure out how to call it.
Well, there's
no point. What's the point of having a play like that if the refs can't call it? It will get removed, and you know what?
The refs don't know how to call everything that's already in the rule book.
So, but it's so bad. It's so poorly called top to bottom for every team. It doesn't need to be in the rule book. And by the way, Brandon, you told me this, and I think not on the show, but just when we were talking, that you're also kind of done with the play, and you're just like, let's just move on as well.
I'm starting to move away from it. I'll never totally hate it because it became unique to our identity as a football team. I'll never.
I don't need to see it on second down.
But that's the problem I'm having with it because you have so much talent on that roster. You have so many great people. You have Saquon Barkley. You mean to tell me on 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1 you can't run the football with him and get the first down? Really? Or you can't just run a normal QB sneak and get the first. I hate the fact that it's the over reliance in our offense of it now. It's before it was used as a gimmicky kind of play just to pick it up if necessary. Now it's become.
It was used in concert with our heavy tendencies to go for it on fourth down.
That's where I'm like, and the thing is, when we first started using it, it wasn't every fourth and inches that we ran it. It became that way, but when we first,
it's going to happen when nobody can stop it. But
when it first became that, like right before when it first debuted, it was like that. It was 2022 under Steichen, and when that thing became. That was the thing. It wasn't always on every 3rd and 1, 3rd and inches, whatever it was.
Sorry.
Yeah, it was only.
I did have a point with what I was going to say though.
Yeah.
The point that I was going to make, and this is the last thing I'll say about it. This isn't going to be a long thing, but the last thing I was going to say about it is that I just look at the difference in coverage. Everybody was all up in arms about it when Philly was the team running away with it. Now that Buffalo and Josh Allen
Josh Allen's used it for years, though.
Yeah, that's what's so weird.
He's used it for 3 seasons.
But it's so funny. It's like I know where Scoop is kind of going.
I saw quotes like he's getting a little help from his friends. You know what, media? This is why everyone's pissed off by the coverage. This is why people, say that the media's plays favorites and one thing or another, because there is no damn way. If Josh Allen played in Philadelphia, you'd be saying something like that.
Well, okay. I'm sorry, Scoop. This is actually burning my brains.
I'm sorry.
Dude, no, it's like they're going to use it because they're allowed to. That's the thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but we're saying the way that it's being talked about is like Philly's the bad guy for using it.
And that's the thing though. Philly's being talked about as the only one using it, yet Josh Allen's actually converting it better.
Josh Allen actually has more tush-push TDs than Jalen Hurts this season. He has 4. Jalen's got 3.
And but that's the thing. I'm at the point with it where it's like the coverage is bad. I agree. But I also think the people saying that are really stupid and don't actually watch football.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, why give it the time of day kind of thing? Because it's like,
okay,
whatever.
Okay, well, I apologize.
No, and you don't need to apologize. I think you're 100% right about it. I just think it's frustrating.
It just annoys me when I see it annoyed me to see coaches who openly said that how bad this thing is, to see them now all of a sudden, yielding the benefits of it, and then on the flip side,
Packers did it too. Packers was the same thing.
Oh no, 100%. I'm not disagreeing with you, Scoop. I just think it's so annoying.
Yeah, and then again, and the only other thing which I already said, the only other thing that I wanted to bring up was the fact that the media coverage pissed me off. Those were the only things that I was going to bring up.
No, and I agree with you, Scoop. I just think we've gone to the point where this play, and I think you've illustrated it really well as to why I also want it removed. I'm just so tired of it. I'm tired of the coverage. I'm tired of it as a whole. That let's just remove it and go to something else. Like, why
I'm
are
just
we
exhausted? Like, because you know what it is? I'm exhausted by the whole talk of the Eagles can't win without it. So
that's fair.
I'm exhausted by that because I'm like, you guys didn't watch the playoffs last year when we scored 90 points between 2 games, and only 2 of those touchdowns were tush push TDs. So you take those touchdowns out, it's still an ass whooping. I don't want to hear that the Eagles needed to win games because they don't. So and it's not just that, but it's like
at the point of like just take it so that we can prove the
because you know why it bleeds over into my hate for the media with the Jalen Hurts crap. I'm seething with rage every time I hear the media say that, like something about the tush push and with Jalen Hurts, where it's like, oh, if you take the play away, like, first of all, the Eagles for the last decade have had one of the top 3, not this year, but have one of the top 3 offensive lines in football. They have a quarterback who squats 600 pounds. They have talent all around the football offensively. If you take the tush push away, you're not going to stop them from running a normal QB sneak.
And by the way, that's right. The same can be said for Buffalo as well.
Yes,
the absolute same can be said there too. Shane, what are your thoughts on it? Because clearly, all 3 of us are annoyed for different but similar reasons with this play.
Also, guys, I apologize, but I'm going to have to clock out early. I apologize.
You're totally fine. You're totally fine.
You guys have a great evening. I'll see y'all on Thursday.
All right,
yeah.
Well,
Rob, I'll probably see you tomorrow. But
yeah. Peace. But Shane, what are your thoughts? Because again, like I don't mind Scoop bringing it up or whatever. I'm just so tired of talking about it because I think it's a media circus that's so unnecessary.
I'm not tired of the play itself necessarily. I'm just tired of everybody bitching and complaining about it, and just
That's
I'm like,
what my anger comes from.
and it's like, and okay, if you ban it, it's not going to change anything for Philly because you still have a
or
quarterback.
Buffalo. Or any other team that uses
or the Packers. Like, it's not going to change it.
Any team that has a quarterback with tree trunk legs, okay. No, seriously, like it's you don't need guys behind you to put. I mean, he's already over the line by the time those guys put their hands on him, push him in. So, yeah, it's I don't. I mean,
it's just like it just is. I'm not going to harp on it anymore. But it's just I'm just like, and it's it's worse when you hear it all the time, especially as like I'm saying as an Eagles fan. It's so bad.
I just think in general, and sorry to jump in, Brandon, but it's one of those things that like it seems for me, it pisses me off because it's like it's as you say, Brandon, a lot of times on Twitter, hilariously, which I think is fantastic. It's like a lot of you people on Twitter don't actually watch football.
Yeah.
You just watch the highlights and you complain about certain things like the play, and it's like just like the Cowboys. I'm like, why do we give it any time? It's not worth it.
Like when you complain, the worst part is that it's funny how every time the play seems to get talked about, it's like the Eagles aren't winning games by 3 points, 4 points, 7 points, and that's the reason why. They're winning games.
Neither is Buffalo. Again, neither is Buffalo.
They're winning games by 14, 17, 20 points, and yet you want to look at the 3 times they ran it in the game as to why a team lost, not the fact they just got blown out by 3 scores. Like, it's ridiculous. That has nothing to do. Like, and this is what I've said for the last 3 years. Like, for 2 things. You want to stop it? Hit the damn weight room, because guess what? Teams have stopped this play before. Hit the damn weight room. Second of all, you know how you stop the Eagles from running it? Be better on downs 1, 2, and 3. That's how you stop it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or even 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Don't put yourself in the situation where they have 1 yard to go and can do it.
Like, here's my biggest tush push question that I still will never understand even when this play gets removed in the offseason. Why can't we just have a backup offensive lineman get pushed forward?
Why
haven't we done it?
I still want Jordan Mailata to run it. I
just don't understand how nobody has thought of this. Even for a QB sneak. Why has nobody thought of this?
Well, or like last night, Seattle had their tight end, A.J. Barner, run it.
Well,
because he was they were saying he was a quarterback in high school, and so he's familiar with taking a snap and all that. And then obviously tight ends are usually stronger than quarterbacks, so there you go.
Can I propose another thing to make this rule better? I have the perfect solution for everybody. If you run you have to use your kicker and punter at quarterback. Kicker, punter at quarterback.
Oh my God, we're gonna kill those poor guys.
So that we don't have to yell about this play. Put the kicker.
Let's not do that.
But here, you know what I'm thinking of? Oh, and by the way, you guys, congratulations, Rob. I think they're getting to. Oh, never mind. I thought they scored a goal. I was looking at replay. But the one thing too is like people forget back in the 80s with Refrigerator Perry and the Bears, they ran pretty much. They put him in goal line situations specifically and let him just plow through everybody to get into the end zone. Like, that was the thing that the Bears did. I don't remember. Like, not that I remember, but I don't think anybody's been complaining about that in NFL history about him running that those kinds of plays and the Bears having that kind of package to run that.
Yeah.
So it's like it's the same thing with the tush push. If you're good at it, use it. Like, that's why I never had a problem with it. I have a problem with the overuse of it now, but I don't have a problem with the play itself.
My biggest problem with it right now, and I've switched stances completely on removing it, is that it's very clear that refs don't know how to
That they
officiate
can't
it.
figure it out. Yeah.
That it's virtually impossible to officiate. So what's the point?
But you know what's hard about it is I hate when people who don't watch football are like, "Oh, that's a clear false start." It's like you're watching it slow down to like literally the smallest like amount of time possible. Like with the naked eye, you can't see a slight movement right like a millisecond before the ball is snapped. You can't see that.
Like
That's not.
right, because that's different from like a holding call or something like that, where it's or even
Where
a
it's
false
blatant.
start, where
Yeah.
it's like where it's kind of it's so different because you're talking about the millisecond as it's happening. That
Like
100%.
there's times where I've seen the tush push, not just from Philly but from other teams, where a guy moves like a millisecond before that ball is snapped, but you don't see it until the replay, and then everybody's crying on Twitter, false start, false start, false start. I'm like, so would you call it there if you couldn't see it? Because you can't see that with the naked eye.
Yeah.
So like you can't
Right.
call it if you don't see it. You can't just throw a makeup flag out of nowhere because you didn't see it.
Yeah.
Like
and
that's
for Seattle last night, why it was a false start is because it was clear.
it
And
was
it was
clear.
right
It was like,
before
they
Yeah.
jumped. Like
Yeah.
that's the thing is like everybody was harping on. Well, like another thing too with Philly with a different false start with Lane Johnson timing the movement of the ball with his step back off the line, and it's like everybody's like, oh, he's false starting. I'm like, a millisecond is not a false start. Like it's like because that you can't see it with the naked eye. A false start is if it's like because like what's the rules in football all the time when they talk about replays for any kind of play that's challenged or reviewed, it has to be clear and obvious. So like it's the same thing almost with a false start. You can't call it if it's happening almost simultaneously. You can't call it.
Yeah. Shane, from a coaching perspective, what do you see on these kind of plays?
Like the tush push or
The tush push and just like
random false starts.
or random false starts and things. Yeah, both.
I mean, it's there's nothing more frustrating than when you're on the sideline and you're like 10 feet away from a play and there's obvious holding and whatever and it doesn't get called. It's the thing is there are 5 guys responsible for watching 22 people at once. They're not going to catch everything. So
Yeah.
it's quite literally impossible. Their job is just to try to find things that are like egregious, and it's like,
Yeah.
okay, that
Yes.
and in that sense, I think refs generally do pretty good. So
Unless it's Rams Saints.
well,
Yeah.
but
I always go back to Shane what you said on this show a little while ago, and I think about it every week now. I think you talked about it really early on in the season, and I've been thinking about it every week, every penalty I see. It's like guys don't get penalized if they do everything as like they're coached. And I love that because I think it's very true to an extent, I guess.
I don't feel
But-
like I said that. That does not sound like something I would say because that's not true.
My bad then.
What Rob's talking about, because Rob was telling me it's like when you focus when your technique is solid. Like
Yeah.
Well, yes,
I guess
yeah.
in that
when
way.
you're
I
Okay,
guess
yeah.
not well coached, but technique wise, yes.
okay, I see what you're saying. Yes, okay, that's sound more familiar. Now. Sorry.
I just completely screwed that up. That's
You're
my
welcome.
No, you're fine. I forgot
You're
about it too.
welcome.
Thank you for saving what would have been a spoiled
Elephant
transition.
memory.
No, yes, because if specifically like for holding for
Yeah.
linemen, right? It's like you shouldn't have to hold if you're
Yes.
using correct technique. Yeah. That's like the one situation. But I mean, there are times even where, you can do everything right, but a defender is just quicker, stronger than you, whatever.
Yeah.
And it still is just like, crap. And same with, like PI a lot of times just happens totally on accident. Just, you're
Yeah.
not like, you're doing everything right. And you just, last ditch effort trying to go make the play and a little too much.
Yeah, the one thing I'll say on the PI, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, the one thing that frustrates me the most is turning your head to the ball.
Yeah, you're never supposed to do that.
Yeah, I like turn your head to the ball. Don't just stick with your receiver and just think the ball's magically gonna appear or something. I hate that.
Well, no, you're not supposed to look at the ball
Oh, I thought you're supposed to turn your head.
if you're a corner.
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I've
You're-
been hearing differently for the last 20 years.
Yeah, okay, that's new.
No, you focus on your receiver.
Well, yeah, receiver first.
Okay,
Yeah.
if you're in man coverage, your eyes and your attention is on the receiver, who
The
you're
whole
guarding.
way through.
Yeah.
The whole way through. And so when the ball's coming, that's when guys will tell you, ball, 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 ball. So then okay, now I got to get ready. That's why a lot of times, like, you'll see receivers, like DK Metcalf does this sometimes, where he'll pretend like he's, put his hands up, like he's
Yeah.
going to catch the ball. So then the defender's like, oh, okay, when in reality he's clearing the running lane.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's why that happens. But yeah, so because yeah, when you're in man, or sometimes called Meg, which is man everywhere he goes. You're focused on him, not the ball.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Well,
That's
because-
okay, so we've definitely heard that wrong all these years.
Well, the thing is, like, because in zone, you obviously have better, because when you're in a zone, you're responsible for that zone. If the ball's, like, you can basically break on the ball in zone.
Right.
So-
In zone, you're kind of 50-50. You're seeing, okay, who's in this
Yeah.
area and also where's the ball right now.
Yeah.
But that's a little different. But when you're in man specifically, you don't
Because
look
you
at the
can,
ball.
because in zone, you can read the QB's eyes. You really can't do that in man. So, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Okay, well, learn something new every day, I guess. Well, we can't say that anymore.
stick around and, but no, I learned that, like the first week I ever played football, with Bill Pickle. He was my defensive coordinator,
What a name.
and
What a great name.
yeah, Super Bowl champion, just an encyclopedic man, football encyclopedic. So I'm, everyone's blah blah blah. I look up and he's like, "No, keep your head on the receiver." And I was like, "Huh?"
That actually, it's funny that you actually, because now that I'm thinking about it too, is if you do turn your head, it's like that receiver could keep going right past you too. So it's like then it's an easy play to make.
Right. So
Yeah.
This guy went to Rutgers?
Yeah.
Hey.
Shane told us about him before. I remember that.
Pickle? Yeah.
He was on an episode of Home Improvement. This guy's Wikipedia page is great. Love it.
That guy, yeah. That guy's crazy. And I say that in a good way. Like, I don't mean he's actually crazy. I just mean, like, just everything he's accomplished in his life is just like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To finish this
Yeah.
off, I'm tired of Twitter people not actually watching football. Turn on
Yeah.
Red Zone and watch the damn game. Flipping idiots.
Yeah.
Guess what we did for 3 hours? We watched Cardinals Cowboys. Like,
But like,
come on, guys.
Like, you know what's funny is like like I kind of like cringe when I'm trying to talk football with people who watch the games but they don't actually understand it. Like
Can
like
you elaborate on that? I love that. Can you
like
elaborate on that?
like one of my coworkers, I love him to death. You know, he's an older guy though, but it's like people that don't really like that they're not like heavily invested. Like they're invested in sports. Yeah, they love their teams, but they're not familiar with like the concepts or like diagnosing a play before it happens. Like the things that we kind of know, and it's like so it's like talking about sports with them is hard because it's like they're like, oh, like did you see that one play? And I'm like, oh yeah, that was great. Like whatever. Like it's like if I start diagnosing what happened on that play and the things I saw, they won't understand it. They won't understand why the play happened that way or whatever it was. Like, not saying I know X's and O's like Shane does, but like but it's like but if you watch football long enough, like if you actually sit down and for years, like we all did growing up, like from the time I was 6 years old, I've been watching Eagles football. Like when you watch football for so long, you sit down for every game and you watch it and you really are involved in sports, you'll understand it on a deeper level than just the surface of just who won, who lost, who looked good, who didn't, who made a play, who didn't. Like it's like so it's harder to talk, but the problem is what you have on social media with people saying, oh, this guy sucks, that guy sucks. It's like, well, no, that guy doesn't suck. You just don't know football as much as you think you do. Like, it's like, people will say things like, like especially people talking about like one of my friends, I love him to death, but he was questioning like the Jalen Phillips trade. He's like, oh yeah, well he had 8 sacks 1 year in his rookie year. I'm like, yeah, as a rookie, 8 sacks is phenomenal. Like, I'm like, especially when you're that young and you still have to develop.
Five is great for a rookie.
Yeah, like and then he's like, oh, what about the year he had 6.5 sacks? I'm like, yeah, 6.5 in 6 starts. Like
That's crazy.
6 starts. Like you got to realize that he was injured. There's a difference. Like it's hard to talk sports with people who kind of just they see numbers and they see the game, but they don't actually see the game. So it's like it's hard.
Yeah, it's so funny to me. Ironically, Shane, please go ahead. Sorry,
I was just gonna say I can't remember off the top of my head. Is Phillips is he technically a strong side backer or is he a end?
They have him listed as an end, but he's done both. But
yeah, he's mostly an end.
He's mostly an end. Yeah,
left or right?
I believe,
or strong or weak. I guess
left.
I believe it's left. I
think it's left. I could be wrong. I know he's done everything, but yeah. I think I don't know, but
well, here's the thing. Like PFR has him listed as linebacker, but when you look at his Wikipedia, it's like when then they call him an edge. Like when they traded for him today, it was like so many accounts were calling him an edge. So he basically does both. He's basically he's pretty much almost like an outside linebacker, defensive end, and comes off I think the left side of the line. So pretty much So that's pretty much what he is.
This is kind of really funny, but I think it's true. It's just true in general. It's like the two things that piss me off the most in football right now, in terms of a social media thing, is the tush push and Jalen Hurts not being a passer like he's freaking Lamar Jackson before he got drafted. That's the only two things. Every week I'm like, I'll be honest, I don't want to give it that much airtime on the show. It ended up being a great discussion, and props to Scoop for bringing it up. But it's just like, I am so tired of it because it's like, okay, and that's my major issue. It's like, and this happens on a national media scale a lot, and we talk about this often, but it's like, why do these things drive so much conversation when that's not That's not what happened in the game.
It's
not like it's so frustrating.
Like what
It's
was
just
it?
it's so exhausting.
Like with the whole with the Jalen Hurts thing. It's like, oh, he can't pass. I'm like, did you watch him in Oklahoma? He can clearly pass. Like that was pretty obvious.
It's also such a it's also the Jalen Hurts passing thing is such a weak argument because it's like, what do you mean? Like, what do you actually mean? Like, what do you mean? Like, he's in the NFL. Like, what the hell are you?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And it's like this year. The one thing I hate this year is people saying, "Oh, he's not top 5 for even for this year." And I'm like, guys, who is playing better than him right now? Besides, like what Drake May, maybe Baker. But Baker's kind of had a rough couple weeks.
It's been a week. It's been a week.
But even so, he's got more passing yards. Well, not you don't count the bye week now. Now it's but before the bye, more passing yards than Josh Allen. More passing yards, I think, than Mahomes. More touchdowns, something like that. He has the best touchdown to interception ratio in the NFL. It's 15-1, and plus rushing touchdowns, which means it's 20-1. So,
I'm so curious what Shane's got the whiteboard out. Oh my god!
I'm looking at the Eagles' depth chart defensively.
He's trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think I got it. Keep talking.
No, but also this is the life for Brandon and Scoop, because they can literally be like, "Hey, why are we talking about it on the show?" Because it's a national topic, but it's also just I love how it's all flipping Eagles crap.
But you know
what are we doing?
Like, you know what the problem I have with it is that nobody gets this kind of media scrutiny.
And I'll be honest, I think you're accurate, because I just don't see it across the rest of the league. Maybe Kansas City with the refs last year, but that's the only thing that's close.
In terms of just quarterback play, when you look at all the good quarterbacks in the NFL, Justin Herbert's a turnover machine. He never gets any flack for it. Mahomes has had a couple down years in a row already. Never gets flack. You don't hear anything about it. I mean, the first time against the Bills, you heard about it, and the only thing they harped on about his game against the Bills was he had the lowest completion percentage of his career, which is 44%, which was bad.
Give me an offensive formation.
What?
Like
what? That the Eagles run, or that just
anybody?
I mean, what?
Like, are you saying like an I form, a single back?
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking I form.
I form?
That's simple.
Yeah. It's pretty basic.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, this is a 1930, but sure.
Okay. Do single back then. No one runs I form.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, fine.
Do single back then.
Yeah, single back.
Nobody. That is true. Nobody really uses I form anymore.
But so
nobody has a fullback.
But like, you know what's funny too is like, you know, and it seems like it is really just with Jalen, where it's like, you know, he has one bad game and the world's like, oh, he can't pass, he can't do this, he can't do that. I'm like, oh, there you go. Wait, Rob, you might actually have goal 4.
We might have goal 4 here. But again, this is my the Lamar can't pass thing. I kind of understood, because he was such a mobile guy at Louisville.
He came out of college as a run first guy. Jalen Hurts did not come out of college as a run. Jalen Hurts at Oklahoma was literally one of the best dual threats in one season in NCAA history. One of the best dual threats.
But this is it. I just don't like. It just feels like nonconformity is not the word, but it's just like, why are we having Twitter accounts dictate what we're talking about in any sport, let alone the NFL? It's so exhausting. And look, it's fine. It's good to have conversations where we can bring up the tush push or bring up the fact he can't pass. But what we're doing is saying, hey, guys, stop listening to this, because it's so annoying and stupid.
Like, it just bothers me, because it's like, I mean, because as an Eagles fan, it's all that Scoop and I see on social media. So it's like, oh my God, enough already. Like, it's like, God, it's like, I want to just tell the world to shut the hell up.
That's how I feel about it. I'm not even an Eagles fan. I'm just so annoyed by it.
Listen, like, of course, we're talking about it a lot, so obviously people are going to tell us to shut up. But, like, it's like...
No, we're talking about it a lot in the perspective, and I think just as a whole.
Because it has been national news.
In the perspective of the fact that this is exhausting, that it's a news topic every single day.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, what's the point? Like, with the tush push, it's like, I also want it removed for the perspective of I'm just tired of talking about it.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of hearing about it every single day when there are other more interesting things happening in the NFL.
Yeah.
But again, it's no shame to Scoop for bringing it up because he's right. He's 100% right about what is happening with it. But that's also what makes it exhausting.
Yeah. I'm so interested to see what Shane has cooking up for us.
Yes. I want to get to the movie Her, so please go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm just looking at this depth chart because this is really interesting. So the Eagles' base D is a 3-4.
Yep.
Okay. So if we look at...
Can you explain for our audience 3-4 and 4-3 because it always screws me up?
Yes, so 3-4 is when you have 3 defensive linemen and 4 linebackers. 4-3 is the opposite. 4 D linemen, 3 linebackers. So Jalen Phillips is listed as the will linebacker, otherwise known as the weak side linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times...
Can you explain Will and Sam again? I always get tripped.
Isn't it just acronyms for
yeah, so the strong side is... So if you're from the quarterback, the strong side is whatever side the tight end lines up on.
Yeah.
So usually it's the right side. So it's strong and then weak side. Or there's many words for it. There's Sam and Will.
That's how I always hear it, is Sam and Will.
Yeah, there's Sam and Will. But I've heard Sam and Will. I've heard Rover and Free. I've heard Strong and Free. I've heard Warrior and Tiger. I've heard Stud and Warrior. I've heard a bunch of different things. But generally, Sam, Will, and Mike is middle. So yes.
The mic thing. I also have a mic question. Why do we need to ID it all the time as a quarterback? Why does that matter?
Because
is that for protection basis?
No, it's because it's a long story.
If we have time,
it's more. So this is more of a thing like in a 3-4 defense because you essentially have 2 middle linebackers, so it gets split up into Mike and Stud.
Yep.
So, like, typically, for the Eagles, Bond is going to be your Mike, and Nakobe Dean is your Stud.
Yep.
So, let's see. Let's put...
God, I love when Nakobe Dean's healthy. He just flies like a bullet at everything that moves.
And then, who else did they have here? Okay.
Yeah, our three guys right now are Bond, Nakobe, and what's his face? Jahad Campbell,
the rookie.
Yep.
6 minutes of stoppages.
Yeah,
oh my lord.
So this is like, more or less what they could be running. Let's see.
Oh, don't give me away. Some team might watch this and then we're going to get screwed.
No, they see it on film.
I know.
So
I'm just joking.
So like, up here you have the offense all drawn out, right? So H, what's H?
I honestly, I'm too tired for this.
What?
Running back.
Running back. Okay, I was like,
oh wait, I can't see the letters. They're so small.
Oh, sorry. This is the offense up here.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
So-
I'm confused
That's
because I was
better.
like, wait a second.
Sorry. So X, that's your wideout 1.
Yep, your primary.
So your
I would
AJ
recommend
Brown,
I would
right.
recommend switching over to our million stream so that you can see the board better. But anyway, continue. Just for our YouTube
then-
audience.
Z is your 2,
Yep.
Devontae Smith. Y, tight end. F is either slot receiver,
Yep.
a second tight end, or a fullback. Up to you, depending on the formation. So here's what we got here. So left end, tackle, right end, and then tiger. So what tiger is, that's when you have a weak side linebacker, which is what Jalen Phillips. So this would be Jalen Phillips, I'm guessing, is going to be the tiger right here.
Yeah.
Coming around the edge on the left tackle. And then, so,
he's basically taking Nolan Smith's job right now.
I would get, so here's the thing though. Jahad Campbell was the starting weak side backer.
Yeah, he was.
So I'm wondering if they move him over to the strong side, which is this guy right here, WR, stands for Warrior. That's the strong side backer. You usually line him up with the tight end here. So then middle, we have Bond, and then stud, that's going to be, what's his face?
Jacoby Dean.
N'Kobe. Yeah. Then obviously safeties, and then you have Nickelback, and then
Great rock band.
Right. That's yes.
Jesus
And then
Christ.
I can't.
This is what's his name? Who's the second year corner? Why am I blanking on his name?
Oh, wait a second.
Cooper?
What? Yeah.
Cooper DeJean?
No. He's the nickel.
Outside Queen Mitchell.
Mitchell.
Yes.
God. That's him,
played.
and then you have your other slapdick over here. I forget his name, but so I'm wondering if you're going to see Jalen Phillips here as the Tiger, and then you'll have maybe Jahad Campbell here at Warrior, because that could be interesting. Because I mean, who do you have right now as strong side backer? It's nobody special, if I remember correctly.
Well, wait a minute, because they've messed with this throughout the season, because it was different before N'Kobe came back, and now they've technically had 4. Well, the 3 guys that they have now obviously are Dean, Bond, and Campbell. What they were doing the last couple weeks a lot, I don't know if they did it on every single defensive possession, but they would have Campbell come off the edge, and then they would have Dean and Bond as the 2 linebackers in the middle. So that's, as far as I know, I still think Bond is the strong side guy, because I don't think it's because I don't
Bond
remember.
is?
I don't
Isn't
remember.
he more Mike though?
I'm trying to remember, because the thing is, they do move around, and they do kind of switch a little bit.
Oh, as every team does.
So
This is purely speculative. I'm just like,
I'm excited to see it now, and
because they have a lot of options here.
I'm just trying to remember who does what in our defense for the primarily
in big downs.
Yeah, in the important downs. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, but then this also changes if you are in, let's say you're in trips on offense or trio. So then,
and trips is 3 receivers. Just quick.
Yeah, anytime it starts with a T, that means there's 3 receivers on one side.
Yeah.
So trips, trio, whatever. So
that's a 4-2 Sounders win. Hell yeah.
So like if we're in trips here, then
4-2. Yeah.
Then you'll have then you have the Y or the tight end. You might have him over here in a bunch, right? And so then free safety is probably going to drift over this way, and he'll kind of play like sort of loose off man. It's called Oscar on the Y right here, and so then you could have the Warrior go up, set the edge over here, and then have your stud shift over and kind of play the flats in this area. So you have options.
Visualizing this like Madden.
Now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, Bond's usually the main one in the middle, so he's the Mike.
He's almost always the Mike.
Yeah.
No, Bond's the Mike, and Dean is the stud.
There has been times where they have switched. It's just not often.
It's just a matter of what's. Yeah, I guess it's just going to be, what do they do with Phillips and Campbell? Do they put Phillips at weak side backer and then put Campbell at strong side, or vice versa, or and then how does that look? But
yeah,
there's a lot of possibilities here.
I'm just trying to figure out what's gonna happen between those four, because Campbell's playing time has obviously decreased with Dean coming back, or they've shifted him now because obviously he can come off the edge because he did it a little bit at Bama, but it's like I don't know
Campbell.
Yeah, but they've used him in so many different ways, because I mean he was a good blitzing linebacker at Bama, but he also came off the edge a few times, and then. But the thing is, he's come off the edge so far this year for Philly when Dean's been back in the lineup the last 2 weeks, and it kind of hasn't worked. Like, he hasn't generated much pressure at all. So it's like I'm trying to figure out how it's going to get configured now with especially those four guys there.
They're just going to mix and match a lot.
I mean personally, because I like Phillips as an edge rusher, I'd put him as the weak side guy and rush him, and then have Campbell as that strong side backer who's going up on like the tight end or covering flats, that sort of thing.
Well, that makes sense.
I also like with any Alabama player, we just say Bama. We don't even say Ala anymore.
Yeah, because everybody knows.
Yeah, everyone knows.
But why it's actually it makes sense that also that Bond is right in the middle as the Mike, and Dean is the strong guy because or stud, I guess, because because obviously
good job, Ben.
Yeah, because Dean is fast.
Learning.
Well, because Dean is faster, so he attacks the ball quicker. So
I almost thought you said Dean is fat. I was like, whoa, hang on a second.
Well, like Bond's the better tackler, I think, but Dean is a better, I guess, because tackler and finisher are two different things, even though they mean somewhat the same. Like Bond's a good tackler, but Dean's the better finisher. He always finishes a play. So it's like I love, because this is why I said when we got him back, especially when he really started for the first time again last week, I'm like, watch the difference he makes against the Giants. Sure as shit, he's literally hitting anything that comes through the gaps or on the outside. That's why I love Bond and Dean together. This is what I was telling people. I was like, I don't see the potential in Nakobe Dean. I'm like, then you haven't watched Eagles football. Nakobe Dean, when he's healthy.
You haven't watched football, period. Again, it goes back to people who don't watch the game fully.
Like, there was one play where he shut down, and he's known for doing this. This is why I hate when we didn't have him in the game and teams were just running screens and swing passes all over us, because there was no Nakobe Dean to shut that down. That's what Nakobe Dean is known for in our defense, is being right at the line of scrimmage for every single swing pass, screen pass, between the tackles. Like, Dean just loves to hit anything that moves. And I love that, because he's a big hitter. The only thing is it gets him injured, but he's a big hitter. So yeah. I love him.
All right.
I mean, you could do like a Tampa 2 look with these guys. I mean,
look at that. That's beautiful right there.
I love this.
Oh, this is beautiful.
Because, where you get your safeties dropping back in the deep thirds, and then you can have Bond kind of go in this middle third, and
Which
then
he's
Yeah,
done.
like a hook zone.
They've done that.
yeah, and then you can get your stud and your warrior. It's backwards. Your stud and your warrior covering the hook curl areas, and then I mean the only issue there is you leave some flats open, but as long as you have a quick warrior like Campbell, he's got decent speed.
Mhm.
He can go make a play here.
You're
As
getting
long
me,
as
you're getting me so excited. We still have
as long as the left end is blitzing here, and then you can send these two guys. You can shoot a gap. So, I mean, you have options.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
This is
Next
great.
week.
This is great.
Yeah, I can only imagine what Fangio will cook up.
Definitely. All right, are you guys ready for a very disturbing movie?
Yeah, sorry, I'll stop blabbering.
No,
Is
it's
it really disturbing, or is it? Because I didn't find it
Okay.
disturbing.
No, it's uncomfortable. Well, okay, first off, let me quickly set the scene here as kind of before we get to
Oh,
Shane's beginning thing. Yeah, I wanna set some scene here because I've been trying to think of. This is gonna sound so wrong, but I've been trying to think of the best way to like frame this, I guess. So over the past couple, maybe it was 2-3 weeks ago, there's this really, I think it was a study or some survey or something of just kind of a young age group ish. I think like high school, college, a bit young adult, or something like that. Maybe it was just kind of 18, 19, 20 range. I don't remember. It was like, oh, I know. Basically, they were asking, do you know someone who's been in it or is or has been, I guess, is mostly in a relationship romantically with an AI, and it was 1 out of 5 people.
Ooh.
And I guess so. That's kind of how I want to start before we actually get into the movie itself. Is like because I don't like this again. This is gonna sound so wrong. I don't know how to describe to people because I know there's people out there. I don't know how to describe to people why that is so wrong and just feels so off. Like this sounds this. I don't know what's up with my YouTube ads, but the amount of like AI girl apps I get is like it's at this like amazingly weird level. And I get like Brandon and I are on dating apps and whatever, but it's like we're on dating apps to meet real fucking women, not AI.
Well, not anymore. Like, I got fed up with it.
Yeah, I'm still on it because whatever. But again, like I don't know how to like describe to people like, oh, why do you have such a problem with it? Because I know there are people out there just like with Twitter bots who don't know football, whatever. It's just like I don't know how to like. It's like the human connection, like that's I don't know. Like Shane, do you want to start with that? Because I think before we get to the movie, we need to frame it as like we have to preface it by that piece of it because it's 1 in 5 guys. 1 in 5? Are you kidding me?
So, okay, if you haven't seen the movie Her, not you guys, but the listeners, first of all, you should watch it.
Oh,
second of all,
it's still a great movie.
This is gonna be one of the most important films that we do all year, by the way. So highly recommend seeing it.
And second of all, we're about to spoil it, so either tune off or just
watch. Please watch the movie and come back. Please.
Yes, there we go. So, if you don't know, this movie is about Joaquin Phoenix. He plays this guy who essentially falls in love with his AI voice, that
his operating system. Yeah,
right. And I remember back in 2013 when this movie came out and I was first heard about it. I thought it sounded so stupid. I was like, are you kidding me? That's dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. But then I think in like, I don't know, when I was in college, maybe like 18, 19, one of my professors, Deborah Prowley, she's kind of in the industry, and not kind of, she is. Sorry, Deborah. But she said, "Well, yeah, have you ever watched the movie Her?" And I said, "Oh, you mean the one with?" And she goes, "Yeah, it's amazing." I was like, "Really?" She goes, "Shane, you got to watch it." I was like, "Okay," So then I did, and I was like, "Oh wow, yeah, okay." But I think what's so unique about this movie is, when it is, this movie is very ahead of its time. Coming out in 2013, we were all like, dude fell in love with an AI voice. Like, okay, weird. But now, because at that time that seemed like such a foreign idea to us, but now it's not that uncommon because, especially after the pandemic, people became much more comfortable with being on their own. Not
Quite
necessarily
social.
not necessarily in a good way. So now we have a lot of situations where people, there's so many like Chat GPT and just all these random AI voices and things that can speak to us like they're a friend.
Or a romantic partner, which is what we're getting at.
Yeah, in this case, a romantic partner. And because there's definitely a loneliness epidemic in this country, and people still seek connection, especially people that work in jobs where they are not social, or they, with what I do, I'm on my feet talking to people all day long. So,
Yeah, and look at what we do on this podcast. We literally talk to each other for 3 times a week for 3 hours.
So I don't have time for an AI girlfriend.
Oh,
but
Oh,
yeah.
Jesus.
Not anymore.
I mean, I'm just saying.
We don't.
But yeah, no. So
This is gonna sound so bad,
true.
but I'm gonna do this for research purposes. I'm gonna go on the Google Play Store and search up AI girlfriend and see how many come up.
Oh,
I'm just curious on how bad this is gonna get.
There's definitely got to be a lot, like a lot.
I mean, these are just like AI community apps, but
they count though.
They count, dude.
But anyways, while you
we're
do
at
that,
I'm already at like 12, guys.
Oh my god!
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. But so the issue now we're running into is people are finding connection through AI, because at first it's, AI, it tells you that you're great and, oh yeah, you're, but it's not a person. It's an algorithm. It's coding.
And by the way, I must add to this in to say that like those AI girlfriend ads. No, there's a couple things. One is the girls look so unrealistic. It is disgusting.
It's not. Yeah, it's not real.
It's so disgusting. And two, they're like, "Hey, you want to play with me?" I'm like, this is uncomfortable and gross. Why is this on my phone?
Yeah, something
what is happening?
Something that an actual human being wouldn't say. Yeah, no. So that's, But yeah, so the guys like this character in this movie are perfect. People that are kind of lonely and
Lost.
who lost, and they're I mean, he's coming out of a relationship and he's feeling sort of the heartbreak and just looking for connection, and that's where he finds it. And so it at the time, because this movie is kind of funny in a lot of ways. So at the time when it came out, and even when I first saw it in 2018 or 19, I was like, oh, this is kind of funny. but now it's really not that funny now, because it's like this kind of feels like a reality in many ways.
The way I would put it is I'm trembling now because like even thinking about this movie like gives me some horror flashbacks. That's how weird it is. But it's just like the thing is like this movie was so uncomfortable and unsettling when I first saw it because you gave me that list of 100 movies. One of the first ones I think you told me one of the first ones you should go to is Her. So that was one of the first ones I did, and I remember being so uncomfortable the whole time, and just being like, "This movie's incredible," but goddamn, I am so uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable, but I think you're supposed to be
It's
a little
supposed
bit.
to make you feel that way.
You know?
Oh my god, 100%. And I remember I've talked to I told you guys I've talked to my mom about it because I think my mom watched it a few weeks after I did, and I told her about it today and asked her, and she's like, that movie's awful. That's like one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen. And I'm like, you know what? I respect that thought. But anyway, continue, Shane. I just wanted to add that piece there.
I told my mom about it too, because we were talking about her and my dad and I, we were talking about movies, and so I brought up the movie Her, and they were like, "What's that?" And I said, "Oh, it's when Joaquin Phoenix, he falls in love with his AI voice and whatever." And my mom goes, "Oh, that sounds stupid." And I said, "It's actually really good."
It's really
and she
good.
And she laughs. She goes, "You're joking, right?" And I said, "No." Yeah, it's like, you should watch it. She goes, "No." I was like, "Oh, your loss."
Yeah.
But yeah, man, no, it's it's a very, if nothing else, it's a very unique take on a romance story. And just kind of in general examining sort of that line between human and AI. And I think Joaquin Phoenix is great. Scarlett Johansson is also amazing. I think this is probably her fourth or fifth best performance, which I told you guys that earlier. And
I said in the chat, I was like, I don't mean this as an insult at all. I think this is one of her best performances.
Yeah,
and it's just a voice.
Yeah,
but
it's
she
a voice,
feels
right?
But she feels so real in the movie that it deserves to be.
Yeah. No, yeah, and I mean, there are some actors where their best performances are just voice performances. Like, we'll get to this one in a few weeks, but Lupita Nyong'o, I think one of her best performances is The Wild Robot, which is...
I cannot wait to do that.
And see, it's funny because I like her in Us. So,
yeah. But she's great too. But anyways, this is not about her. She'll get her moment later.
Yeah.
No, but the other thing that really surprised me with this movie is the cinematography.
I was not only am I going to add the cinematography, I wanted to ask you about the score and also just how flat this movie is. It's so flat and bland intentionally in terms of the background. like set design wise.
Yes, but it's also, I mean, the set design is flat, but it's, for me, it's the lighting. What they do with the
Oh, I
lighting is
love that
really
thought. Yes, yes.
because it's I mean, I notice a lot of kind of well, a lot of shots that were backlit, which I love. Um, and a lot of times where like there's that one shot where he's looking out the window and you don't see his face, but you can kind of see like a little bit of the sun out the window, like in frame, and it just makes and like a lot of the scenes where there's one where he and what's Rooney Mara's character? What's her name?
Isn't it Catherine?
Catherine, yes.
Yes, thank you. I
Who,
can never
by the
remember.
way, who by the way is the only sane one in this movie.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. There's that one scene where they're like they're laying in the grass and things
The
happen.
flashbacks. Yeah.
And yeah. But that's another one where it's a beautiful shot. It's like the sun is sort of low and it's like behind her head and that's I think they really used just that contrast of using the natural warm, very soft light in contrast with his more kind of bland reality. Because you have a shot like that, and then you cut back to, him just laying in bed by himself, and it's dark and gray, and it's just a plain city background out the window. It's a very stark contrast, and so that's like. So there's that, and it's also there's a lot of like kind of overexposed backgrounds that are almost look washed out, kind of give it that dreamy look. So so yeah, I think there's just the visual storytelling is great, and it's for a film with a premise like this, you certainly don't need that. Like, but the fact that it's there, it really enhances it.
Yeah. Really quick, Nicole mentioned in the chat while you were drawing the stuff and I missed it. Is Shane an artist? Lol. I'm like, yes, he is. Yes,
I mean, technically.
No, but
well, that's a nice way to put it. But
but before I go to Brandon and Shane, I sent you guys this video from Ben from Canada, who is excellent. He does great breakdowns on movies, part of the Mr. Sunday Movies crew. He was talking about the score, and I think the score is the piano score. I'm not even saying the word right. I can never say this word right. It's great, and it adds so much to the film. Those different pieces, and it really it really makes for the different acts too of the film.
Yeah, and a soundtrack can really make or break your film. I mean, there's a reason. Pretty much any movie with John Williams attached to it is just amazing.
Yep.
It's so yeah. And I do think that is how I feel about this soundtrack. It's it's a lot of like very what's the word, like ambient kind of strings, sometimes a little piano or even electric piano, but I think it works really well because it's, when you look at this guy's life, it's not like he's, it's not like you need a da 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 da,
Well,
it's like,
it's supposed to be dreamy, kind of. So
yeah, and it's
Mhm.
when you hear the music in this, it's like you just you hear like a conversation going on between him and whoever he's with at that particular time, and it's you see that kind of washed out lighting, and you hear this like very faint, it's just kind of going in the background, and it's like it puts you in that frame of mind where you're like, oh yeah, and it's very effective at that. So yeah, no, I really love that. I'd say, I mean, really, like my only negative is just that, yeah, sometimes it's kind of cringy, but
yeah,
like
I
It's
kind
meant
of
I
get
feel
it.
like
it's meant to be.
but I feel like it's by design though, So
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
yeah, um, but yeah, but it's, I mean, I just think the biggest thing is that as time goes on, this movie is getting more and more relevant, and that
It's
is
not okay.
It's not a
It's
good
not
thing.
okay.
no, and that's rare that happens in film or really any art. I mean, you have a lot of, there were a ton of, like, in the 60s, 70s, there was a lot of art talking about, the Vietnam War and protesting that. And then that all kind of went away. And now we look back at those movies and we're all just like, oh yeah, that war was bad. And then we go along. But it's not like this, where it's like, okay, this is an even bigger problem now. You know what I mean?
I mean, look at what I just said. My entire YouTube ads is just, hey, download this AI Girl app. Like, oh my god, like
Yeah.
it's awful.
Yeah. No, I
Um,
know. So,
yeah.
yeah.
All right, Brandon. Well, I gave Shane the time for this, so please go ahead.
We didn't even get the letter grade though.
Oh, do you want to do it now, Shane, or would you rather
Oh,
wait a little bit?
let me think about it.
Yeah. All right, Brandon, go ahead because Brandon, is this your first watch of this film?
Yeah, no, I remember when this came out, and I remember when the trailer had come out, and obviously as a young teenager, because this movie came out in 2013, and I was 13. Um, when this came out, I was like, what the hell is this? Like, I almost looked at it as because it's billed like what it's called as on Wikipedia is a sci-fi romantic comedy drama. That's a mouthful, but that's what it's
Oh,
called on Wikipedia.
and I'm gonna pause you
So
really quick. I apologize. Shane said this in our chat, and I'm gonna repeat it. This is not sci-fi anymore.
it's not, and it's not.
It was.
It's not anymore.
So
This is strictly a romantic comedy drama.
like
Now.
the problem that I'm like, trying to, I guess, like get over with this is like I remember when I was seeing the trailer and I'm like laughing at it because the trailer is like cringy. Like the concept is cringy when you watch the trailer. Like you're thinking like, oh, like who wants to watch? Like you literally are thinking, oh, who wants to watch that? Like it looks dumb. But then when you actually do watch it, you get a whole kind of different perspective on it. But it's there's we were talking about how more and more people are kind of relying on that, right? The whole thing of like, they're lonely, poor people skills, all these different things. So they're turning to AI and computers and robots and whatnot, like, and how scary that is. Like, like this is why we keep seeing things now that by like, in the next 5-10 years, we're actually going to have like humanoid robots that we can live with and whatnot. Like, do people not understand how scary that actually is? Like which is crazy to think about, but it's quite literally real. They're building them in China right now as we speak. Like
the
you
thing
know,
the thing that I'm like trying to, again, that was kind of what I started with. Is like I'm just trying to reconcile in a way to tell people, especially when it comes to AI relationships, like this is wrong, and I'm trying to explain why. I guess, Brandon.
like because the problem is with people, and you know what's funny? This isn't just an AI thing or a cell phone thing. Like people say, oh well, since the invention of cell phones, it's like no, since the invention of the computer back in the '80s, late '70s, early '80s, since the invention or like really the heavy onset of the computer,
And
like
internet.
like people were using chat rooms to talk to people in other countries. My mother and father back in the late '90s met on a chat room, AOL chat room. Like, they didn't meet in person. So, so like this, what we're going through now, what this movie talks about, and what we're in now in 2025, it's just an extension of those. It's building off what came before it.
It's the next evolution of it.
And people don't realize is like, they keep saying like, you can't mess with like Mother Nature. You can't mess with the physical world you live in. And unfortunately with technology, it's warping the world that we live in. And it's not like, the old man, yells at cloud, get off my lawn thing. That's like, no, this is actually a problem. Like, because more and more people are losing soul. We're literally devolving because we're not evolving. We're devolving because of this as people. So, like, what's scary about this is, and there was one line in this movie because I knew I had to go back and find it. So I looked it up as you guys were talking, and I had to find it. It's right when he gets back when Joaquin Phoenix's character Theodore gets back from his awful blind date, and he says as he's talking to Samantha in the room and talking about how the date went and how he felt about it, and he basically says a whole bunch of stuff that's X-rated, but he does say about the very end of it pretty much. He says, and sometimes I think I've felt everything I'm ever gonna feel, and from here on out I'm not gonna feel anything new, just lesser versions of what I've already felt.
I felt that line. Yeah.
And the thing is, I was like, that hits hard because you just realize that, especially as you get older and, you get less and less new experiences kind of to go by, or you've already felt pretty much or you think that you've already felt as happy as you're going to feel. That creates kind of that loneliness and kind of like that, like the loneliness, the separation anxiety, the need for human companionship, like these kind of things. But the problem is that people are going about it in the wrong ways, just like he does with turning to AI for companionship, and that's just it's not right.
I'm gonna add to that. I think another line that hits. I don't think I'm getting it exactly right, but when he's talking to Catherine, and Catherine's like, you clearly just can't handle a real human relationship.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's exactly right.
This is why we keep saying, especially with this is gonna branch out from the movie, but
that's what we're getting to here. That's the important thing of why we're doing the film.
And like, because people don't realize this, but modern dating, especially because we're of the age where that's a real thing for us. We're in our mid-20s, and modern dating is so bad because the internet and AI and all these different things have people believing in things that are just not real. It's like it's warping people's minds into thinking that they always have a better option somewhere else, or that they always that they have to have the most perfect person. Nobody's perfect. That's not realistic. Like, like what it's like. It's the same thing when people used to say back in the day, like, "Oh, do you really believe everything you see and hear on the news?" It's like because you shouldn't. Like, it's the same stuff with the internet and AI now. If you believed everything it told you, you would live a really miserable existence, and that's why a lot of people are miserable. They're feeding into this kind of crap, and and at the end of the day, what we learned in this movie too is the AI eventually, in the end, pretty much made him just as miserable as the real human relationship because he just could not relate. And it's like you got to draw the line somewhere between. Like, this is why we always tell people, like, especially internet trolls and things like that, to go and touch grass because like because you can't live your life pretty much like. Listen, you might not be a people person, you might not like people, but you cannot go your whole life avoiding people. You just can't. You can't. Humans can't live that way. Whether you like to accept that or not, humans can't live without other humans. It's not possible. So it's like, like when you see people that say, "Oh, I'd be happy living off the grid somewhere on like a remote island where no one can get near me." It's like, you might say that now. Do you realize how boring and how lonely and how angry you would get very, very quickly?
Do you realize how much it sucked during COVID when we
Yeah, thank
didn't
you.
Yeah.
see a person for days on end other than our immediate family? If we were lucky for the amount of people that were, by themselves in a house or whatever. Shane, please go ahead.
Sorry.
No.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. Please go ahead.
But I mean, just look at like every human behavior and whatever can be traced back to the caveman days because humans have been around for 200,000 years.
Yep.
And we've only had this sort of modern civilization for about 6,000.
Yeah.
So what were we doing for 194,000 years prior to that? We were in groups, we were hunting, gathering, and if you didn't have people, you wake up, your crew's gone, you'd have a panic attack because you were dead.
Yeah.
And that's why, that's why it seems, anxiety and depression, whatever, it's like, oh, it's on the rise. Yes, because our lives are very, very comfortable now. I mean,
compared to those days, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, life right now, people don't realize it, but life right now is more comfortable than it has ever been. Ever. Because if we need food, we just go to the grocery store and it's right there. We don't have to go and kill an animal. We don't have to grow all these crops for months on end. Like,
it's funny. It's funny that I'm going to say this, but it's like, guess what? We watched football for the last few days, and we didn't go hunting. I guess minus Shane because he actually did go hunting.
Shane was hunting with his primal instincts and his ancestors.
Yeah, exactly. No, but no, it's just like So I say all that because now we get in a situation where we have a literal, a computer right here that can do,
literally anything we ask, pretty much.
Yeah, basically anything. And AI it's coded. It's not primal or personal or emotional, So
that's what I was missing. Yeah.
Yes. So we form relationships with other people because people are imperfect and because they have emotions and thoughts and feelings. AI does not. AI is designed to be perfect and to not mess up and whatever. And just to be totally logical, analytical, data. So that's where the disconnect is, because people like Theodore in this movie will see this perfect AI and think, "Oh, this is great," but that's not connection. That's you talking to an algorithm to, programming.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I will say
yeah.
I have also searched up our show on Google AI, and it's the
Oh,
most
geez.
hilarious thing on planet Earth. It's like the AI knows us three, and then Scoop is just, we don't know anything about Scoop except that his name is Scoop. It's the weirdest thing on the
Wait,
it's so
what does it know about us?
The description's fantastic.
It's just, I forgot it, but it was like I've been trying to re-get it again, but it was like oh, they're NFL commentators, that they're do this, that they're
Hell yeah, we
whatever.
are.
They're NFL, they're it's our full names and everything. It's our full names and everything. It's like our years of experience covering the NFL, whatever the hell. And then Scoop also has that, but a big piece of it is, we only know him as Scoop. We don't know his face.
Yeah, it's like
we don't know anything about him.
I remember something like, I'm paraphrasing it, but it's like it says like, oh yeah, it's like, this is a show that's run by these three like NFL commentators, and it lists our full names, and it's like, oh, they talk about sports and football. They also have a fourth host, and he's currently known as Scoop. That's like basically what
that was it.
Like,
Scoop for some reason was second fiddle according to the AI. Like, I'm like, why? What
I'm gonna ask
happening?
ChatGPT.
Oh my god!
I asked Google AI,
No.
not ChatGPT.
Oh, see, we're
asking-
just feeding it right into the movie's premise at this point.
What do you know about the podcast?
Football after hours.
Football.
While Shane is doing that, Brandon, let's switch to the movie. What were your thoughts on the film itself?
The movie itself, I can't. Shane searching this up is so funny.
I'm curious now.
But, well, if you find it, let us know. But or something.
Okay.
Oh Jesus!
Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, go ahead
Yes.
before I go about the movie. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So it's holy shit. This is a lot of stuff. Okay, it is a sports podcast covering the NFL, discussing weekly games, recap, analysis, and takeaways. For example, episodes titled Monday Night, After Hours, Week 8, etc. Hosted by several personalities, including Robert Solosi, Brandon Furtado, Shane Hansen, and Scoop. It's produced and presented via the Millions platform and is labeled Millions Production Millions.co in the Spotify listing.
Yes.
Let's see. The episodes are
that's
frequent.
what I set up, by the way.
Good job. The episodes are frequent and tied to game weeks of the NFL. The podcast is more than audio. Video streams on the Millions site are labeled podcast.
There's no mention of YouTube on there.
That's sad. Or Instagram.
Yeah. Topics are typical of sports commentary, game recaps, NFL hot takes.
You're just repeating the same thing over and over.
team.
What is happening?
Yeah, pretty much.
It's
Platforms.
having a
It's on Spotify, YouTube, Millions.
Thank you.
We're also on Amazon now, by the way.
Oh, that's fun.
Yes.
Should I give it more information about us?
Please notice us, Jeff Bezos.
Yes.
Oh my god.
We have
Yeah.
Do you know anything more
Apple,
specific
please hit me up.
about-
I've been trying to get this on Apple forever, and I can't do it. You have to pay. Can we please not have to pay for Apple to put us on? Thank you.
I think my brother-in-law is knows some people at Apple.
Can you tell them that we don't want to pay?
I also, by the way, if I
I'll
want to
try.
say, I've been infrequent in terms of the timing of the uploading on Spotify. Unfortunately, YouTube has a 24-hour turnaround
It's
where
weird.
you can upload a
Yeah.
video, and I always forget that I have to upload it. So my apologies.
You know what you should do? Just wait. Do you have it on a schedule?
Me?
I should.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. Because when you schedule it, it'll be easier. It'll flow better. Like you won't have to worry about it. You can kind of just set it and forget it, kind of thing.
Well, no. What I'm saying is I have to download it and then post it to Spotify, but it takes 24 hours for YouTube to process the
Oh,
live
geez,
stream
yeah.
so I can download it and put it up on Spotify. You know, so I always forget to do it because I'm like, it's been 24 hours. You know, anyway.
Yeah. So either way, but this movie, that's where I was gonna talk about it because we're gonna be here all night if we don't. Is when this movie as just a movie itself is actually really good. Like I like all the casting in it. It's all a bunch of people I recognize too, which is nice. From a lot of different things, and honestly, I'll watch anything that Joaquin Phoenix does. Like, I love that we're choosing movies this year where it's like a lot of my favorite kind of actors. But it's definitely not only is it important, like we just talked about for the last freaking half hour about this movie and about life.
Hey, it should. It's great.
But it's like, it everybody's kind of been there where you kind of feel like you feel lonely, and just like in this movie, he feels lonely. He feels like he's out of place. He kind of he's kind of like a nerdy, awkward guy where it's like he's not doesn't have many friends, doesn't have family really, doesn't have really anybody to really kind of be close to, I guess, and over time that kind of you feel for him, but also at the same time you're just like is this guy nuts for actually bonding with an AI a freaking operating system, which I still think he is, which like there's times where I felt myself like starting to slip into the fact that like, oh, I feel bad for this guy and his relationship. I'm like, wait a minute, it's not a relationship, he's talking to a robot, where I'm like, oh, what the hell's going on?
That's the intention of it as well.
But it was like I quickly realized kind of how, I mean, it's an important premise, but I was like, wow, this is actually kind of dumb. But like for his standard, whatever he's going through in the movie. But it's crazy how just, I guess I love that quote from the movie because that quote's so important, not just to the whole AI part of it, but just to the human side of it, like to feel like that there's nowhere to go for somebody but down, like that they've already hit the peak in their eyes and they can't go anywhere else but down, and that's a scary feeling because everybody's been there at some point. But I think this movie does a good job of like category, not like showing the good parts of relationships and showing the bad parts of relationships, and for both sides, both for human and AI, if that's that's a thing nowadays, obviously, and in this movie it is, and both for human and human relationships. And it's but this movie, I think, what the one thing it also because by the end of it you kind of realize between Amy Adams' character and Joaquin Phoenix, the one thing you kind of realize is how they're always nice to each other, and that seems to be the only true person he actually has to bond with.
I felt so bad when one of the lines was, "Oh, we tried in college and it didn't work." So I'm like, "Fuck, that should have worked."
But by the end of it, it kind of leaves you on that thing of, oh, they might have a future together.
Yeah, at least that's the hope.
It leaves you on that hope. And the thing is like, everybody needs someone to lean on or something to believe in. And that was a cool kind of thing at the end, was to have them watch like the sunset together at the end. And also, things will be better pretty much tomorrow kind of message. And it's also but see, that's the one thing I think I also took away from this movie that I think a lot of people probably wouldn't at first watch, which I got on first watch, is sometimes when you're feeling down, the people that you don't think you can lean on anybody and you feel like you have nobody to kind of turn to, they might just be right in front of your face the whole time.
Yeah.
And you just don't recognize it because you're so clouded in your own head. And eventually, because that's what we see in this movie, and that's important too. Is it's showing the good and bad in everything, and the good and bad between people, the good and bad between coworkers, the good and bad between romantic relationships, friendships, uh, human and robot, um, and just basically there's two sides to all of that, and or hell, even more sometimes. Because technically there's three sides to a story. There's one side, the other side, and the truth. But that's what I like about this. It's just that there's a lot of as much as this movie kind of seems like it's a downer kind of movie and it's uncomfortable and unsettling, there's a lot of positives to take away from it. And I feel like when you can kind of marry those two things together in a movie like this one does, it makes it important. We've talked about just the technology side of it, but obviously saying the human side of it. So it's it's really well done, and I think that's also just a product of Spike Jonze being a really good director. I feel like, so I think that's important. So overall, I love every part of it. Really, in the end, and it's the first movie I think that we've watched all year where I really felt myself get engrossed in it because it's such an important topic. It's so modern, even though this movie came out 12 years ago, that I'm I almost couldn't look away from it. Where I was you kind of want to see what's gonna happen in this story, and because everything is very relatable to what we're living through right now. So I think for all those reasons, this is another one of those rare movies where I'm not gonna say, I think because of how on the nose, how important it is to talk about, and how poignant it is. As a movie, I think it's a 7 for what it talks about and the kind of messages it gives. I give it a 9. So overall, I think I'm gonna go somewhere in the middle and say it's an 8 for me, or 8, or yeah, about 8. I'll say 8. I'll bump it up a little bit because I do like it a lot. I'll say 8.5.
All right,
Yeah,
that's fair.
That was kind of my thought too. It's as a movie, for me, it's probably a B plus. But in terms of, I think how important it is right now, how timely it is, it's an A. So I'll say A minus.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for me, I've been struggling with the rating all day, but I'm just gonna go with it. I think I gave this an 8.5 around there when I first saw it. This is a 10. I get it. I get why people. I get why people say it's their favorite movie. I get why people say, yeah. I get it. I get why Ben from Canada is when he opens his monologue about this film. The first time I watched that monologue, I didn't really get it, and now the second time I'm oh, I get it. He opens the monologue by saying, "Her is the greatest movie ever made. If you don't think that, you're just wrong." And I thought it's just really funny. And I don't think this is the greatest movie ever made. I think it's up there. I think it deserves to be in the conversation. But it's amazing.
Well,
it's a 10. It's a 10. And you know what? Should it be a 10? Probably not. But honestly, it probably needs to be.
But you know what's crazy? How when we look back on movies from 100 years ago, and it's part of the American Film Institute's top 10, top 100 greatest movies of all time, and it's number 3, number 5, number 7. This
movie got lost in the shuffle for the 2010s. I think. I don't think anybody it was just awful. But I don't think anybody really did. Yeah.
But I think the impact of what this movie is, and as time goes on, and more people kind of watch it and go back to it and whatnot. This movie's going to be kind of like those movies that we look on 100 years ago and say, oh, it's in the top 10 ever. It's a staple classic. Might be one of those movies.
Oh, I think absolutely.
Where it's especially as we get further down the road in technological advancements, and this one, and this movie's starts to look primitive compared to where we're going to be in the next, 50 to 100 years. It's they're going to look back at this kind of the same way we look back at those very old movies and think oh, wow, it was ahead of its time, actually, because it was older
and transformative.
Yeah.
Oh. It'll depend on a lot of things, I think. Just depending on how our society ends up.
Well, yeah. Hopefully, by that point, in the next 50 years, we're not in a scene from Mad Max. That'd be fantastic.
I had this thought. I wrote it in the chat. And I had this thought the first time I watched it. I just for some reason never said it, and I'm going to say it to finish off the podcast. If I bought an operating system, I imagine it's extremely expensive. I would imagine it's like $1,000.
Technology has the ability to do that. It's expensive.
Yeah, so I'm just thinking like an iPhone is like $1,000. Let's just more than 1,000, 1,500, whatever it is now. The iPhone 17 Pro is only cool because of the orange color. The orange color casing that they have.
You pretty color.
Ooh! Yeah, give me it. No. So if I spend, let's say, $1,000 on this thing, I don't care if I have a relationship with it or whatever. Like, this was the case for everybody that bought this AI and used it. They all lost it at the end of the day. If I spend $1,000 and I lose it after a few months or however long, it just says buy. Give me my money back.
Why?
I wasted $1,000.
Yeah, that's the one thing I was trying to figure out. Like the one piece of this movie where I was a little bit confused. I'm like, since when does an operating system just say bye to you and cease to exist?
Well, I mean, it's not that it ceased to exist. It was more that she
getting an update, I guess.
She was teaming up with other AIs to basically evolve further than what she already was.
Like a hive mind?
They themselves made an AI of a historical figure.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean?
The operating system did. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just like, so they just evolved past what the programmers intended. And so they're like, well, we've evolved too far. Goodbye.
We're going to be slaves to robots, aren't we? It's going to.
But again,
oh my God, iRobot's going to happen, is what I'm hearing here.
No, but again, it goes back to my initial point. If I bought an operating system and it just evolved past itself and said bye, I want a flipping refund. Get that stock down. Give me my money back. Please.
Oh my God.
I like how this is the takeaway from this.
That was the final thing I wanted to say, because I've been thinking about it. Every time I think about this movie, I'm like, oh my God, imagine spending $1,000.
This wasn't a post-credit scene. This was a future rant.
The other thing is, imagine if I had a romantic relationship in it with all its fixing and stuff. I'm like, number one, it makes me think of prostitution, which there is some level of prostitution in this movie.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, there is some level of prostitution in this movie, which
that
we didn't get to, which is freaky.
Too. That scene is so sad.
Oh my God. But no, so there's that, and then, but also again, $1,000. I got into a relationship with this person, and they left me. I not only want my money back, I want money back and incentives.
With interest.
With interest.
With interest. Yeah, all I have to say is, you can make fun of them all you want, but if the voice is the voice of Scarlett Johansson,
oh, no.
I get it.
I knew where that was going.
And on that note, I am getting out of here. All right, good night, everybody.
Thank you for joining us. For Scoop, for Brandon, for Shane, for myself, Robert. We will see you on Thursday for Raiders Broncos.
More crap football, just like tonight.
Christ almighty.
Oh, Jesus.
or I mean, yay. That's
and then I think the week after is Patriots Jets.
I should become a soccer fan. All right.
Oh, Jesus. All right. Peace, everybody. Good night.
See ya.
Night, everybody.
Thank you for joining us.